Hello and welcome back to another Hunger Games simulator video. Now the theme of this simulation is Stranger Things, which I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I feel like now is the best time to do it, you know, being as it is right now in the middle between Season 4 Volume 1 and Season 4 Volume 2, which comes out in about like 2 or 3 weeks from the time I'm recording this. And if you don't know how these Hunger Games videos work, basically put a bunch of these characters into a simulation, usually like all characters from like a show or a movie or a game, or just some like overall theme. They try to kill each other to see who could be the last one. And one final thing before we get into the simulations, I'm going to give you guys a spoiler warning, because there are going to be spoilers in this video, either in like the memes, or I'm going to be making references and things like that. So this is your warning for, you know, that if you have not seen Stranger Things yet, you should go and watch that first. Anyways, let's just get to the contestants and see who was going to fight in this Hunger Games. So in District 1, we got Mike. Also in District 1, we got Will, whose only job is to basically just be stuck in the Upside Down for the entire season. And then in District 2, we got Dustin. He's kind of, you know, the funny guy of the group, I'd say.
You guys realize there's a gate down there? It's technically a water gate.
And then also in District 2, we got Lucas, who has a decent chance at winning this Hunger Games. He's probably the best at fighting out of these four, because, you know, he has the slingshot skills. Then in District 3, we have who's probably going to win the whole thing, if we're being realistic about it, because she's kind of OP, but we got 11. I was thinking about putting her in District 11, but then I went against that. And then also in District 3, we got Hopper. You know, he's the chief of police, and he's also the guy from Fortnite. Then District 4, we got Max and Billy. Then District 5, we got Jonathan and Nancy. Figured it makes sense to put them in, you know, the same district. Then District 6, we got Steve, aka the best character. I mean, like, come on. I'm curious how him and Dustin are going to be in this Hunger Games. Are they going to actually team up in this? Then also in District 6, we got Robin, the other, you know, Scoops Ahoy person. And District 7, we got Joyce, the mom of Will. I'm assuming throughout the whole Hunger Games, she's going to be trying to find him.
Hello?
Connection terminated.
Also, District 7, we got Murray. He got the black belt. Then District 8, we have the two characters that are very well-liked characters that kind of just got oofed, you know what I'm saying? So we got Barb. Remember when Justice for Barb was a thing? Then also District 8, we got Bob. It's kind of weird that Barb and Bob both, you know, sound very similar, and they both were well-loved characters that died. And then District 9, we got who, like, this was the death that truly got me. I was like, screw Barb and Bob, am I right? But Alexi, he just wanted to drink his cherry slushy. Like, why do that? He just wanted to watch freaking Woody Woodpecker all day. And also District 9, we got Argyle. No matter what, it seems like he's always high on weed. Like, I don't think there's ever a time he's not. Even when he's out of the show.
Who would you rather fight, the Mind Flayer or Vecna?
Neither.
Yeah.
I think neither, because they were asking me earlier. They were like,
And now on the bottom row here, we're kind of getting to the villains, right? We got all the villains on the bottom row. So in District 10, we got Dr. Brenner. Tell me, how is he alive again? Like, I don't get it. My man got, like, absolutely destroyed by my Demogorgon, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then also in District 10, we got Demogorgon, who is actually returning from a previous Hunger Games, and he was in one of my supervillain Hunger Games, and he did really bad. He got like 21st place. And then in District 11, we got Demo Dog, who's a Demogorgon, but in dog form.
doing?
And also in District 11, we got the Mind Flayer, who's kind of like the leader of the entire Upside Down. And then in District 12, we got Vecna, also known as Number 1.
He was number 1.
Who's honestly scarier than Vecna. And then our final contestant is Susie. Then you might be wondering, like, why is Susie here with all the villains? And that's because she definitely is a villain. Okay, well, probably not. But like no one breaks into song and dance, spend like a whole 20 minutes just for Hopper to die. Anyways, let's proceed to see who will win the Hunger Games Simulator Stranger Things edition. And also comment down below who you want to see win the Hunger Games. I'm curious to hear, you know, who your favorite character is and who you want to see win. As a tribute stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Demodog finds a canteen full of water. He has his own dog bowl now. That's epic. Demogorgon runs away from the cornucopia. Hopper scares Dr. Brenner away from the cornucopia. Max runs away from the cornucopia. Susie grabs a backpack and retreats. What's going to be in that backpack? He got some hacking equipment. Dustin rips a mace out of Mike's hands. Vecna runs away from the cornucopia. Steve runs away from the cornucopia. Billy runs away from the cornucopia. Robin takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Alexi runs away from the cornucopia. Yes, okay, go find your cherry slushies, just don't die. Jonathan rips a mace out of Eleven's hands. Okay, that's not an ideal idea. I don't think Eleven's the type of person you want to mess with. Murray runs away from the cornucopia. Joyce runs away from the cornucopia, trying to find Will.
I need to know where to find you, honey. Where are you?
When I met you in the summer.
Lucas runs away from the cornucopia. Will takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Argyle receives a trident from inside the cornucopia. Everyone has like these normal weapons like spears or maces. He's got a freaking trident. Barb runs away from the cornucopia. Mind Flayer runs away from the cornucopia. Bob runs away from the cornucopia. And then Nancy also runs away from the cornucopia. Hopper sets an explosive off, killing Lucas, Demo Dog, Joyce, and Billy. Did Hopper mean to do that? I wouldn't think he'd want to kill Joyce. I guess maybe he just didn't know who the explosive would kill. He kind of like just set up a trap or something. Robin scares Bob off. I feel like Bob is too nice to kill anyone, I'm realizing. Mind Flayer sprains his ankle while running away from Demogorgon. The Mind Flayer is running from a Demogorgon? Mind Flayer, aren't you like the leader of the Upside Down? Isn't Demogorgon like a simple entity inside of it? Dr. Brenner overhears Mike and Jonathan talking in the distance. Alexi, Will, Steve, and Max raid Dustin's camp where he is hunting. Steve is against Dustin? 11 receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Murray practices his archery. Argyle collects fruit from a tree. Are you sure he's not, collecting just the tree itself? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a plant. You picking up when I'm dropping. Susie discovers a river. Vecna collects fruit from a tree. Hey, Vecna's getting some wheat. Nancy chases Barb. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Lucas, Demodog, Joyce, and Billy. Argyle attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Hey, what was that fire for, Argyle? What do you need the fire for? Are you trying to light something? What do you? Will and Hopper tell stories about themselves to each other. Hopper's like, I'm sorry, Will, but I just murdered your mom. Dr. Brenner screams for help. Why? Is there a Demogorgon? Vecna, Max, Alexi, and Jonathan sleep in shifts. Bro, Alexi can't even communicate with anyone except for Murray, because he only speaks Russian. So Alexi's kind of just there. And so is Vecna. Why is Vecna there? Wait, what? Demogorgon questions his sanity. You've already done better than you did in your last Hunger Games appearance, so you're already doing pretty well. Susie and Bob run into each other and decide the truce for the night. Bob, I wouldn't trust Susie. I know she seems nice. Steve defeats 11 in a fight, but spares her life. Steve beat 11? First of all, I'm just proud of Steve for actually being able to win a fight.
You want to fight?
How'd you beat 11? Is 11 just going easy? Is 11 like just kind of toying a little bit? Dustin, Nancy, Mind Flayer, and Mike sleep in shifts. Murray tries to treat his infection. Alexi overhears Vecna and Dr. Brenner talking in the distance. The reunion of number 1 and Dr. Brenner, this is amazing. Mike sees a grandfather clock. That's not a good sign. I think Vecna, is kind of planning something there. Better start playing your favorite song. What would Mike's favorite song be? Steve, Robin, Susie, and Murray raid 11's camp while she is hunting. Bro, 11 is just getting pushed aside every single time. She got a mace stolen from her. She got beaten by Steve. And now her camp is being raided by 4 people. Bob discovers a river. Wait, so did Susie. Is this the same river? Is Bob and Susie working together? Max stalks Nancy. Hey, that's Jonathan's job. Demogorgon thinks about home. Ah, yes, the Upside Down. Hopper severely injures Will, but puts him out of his misery.
You what?
So he should have killed Will's mom and is now like, now I'll just kill Will. I'll finish the job. Argyle receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. He has a trident and a hatchet. He has double-wielded weapons right now. Dustin goes hunting. All of his stuff is gone, so he has to try to find more. And we have an event. The arena gets flipped turned upside down. So now everyone is in the Upside Down. Let's see how this goes. Mike hides in the tunnels, but Susie also hides in the tunnels. Max and Jonathan get every bone in their body snapped in half by Vecna. Well, Vecna's going out for the kills now. But that's not good. That's every bone in your body. That can't be healthy. Also, by the way, being as I didn't think this much through, this will not count as Vecna's kills in the final, like when it says the placements and everything, all their kills. This is technically an event. 11 hides in the tunnels. Barb and Robin get every bone in their body snapped in half by Vecna. We have to now start up justice for Barb too. Vecna hides in the tunnels. She's just hiding there while snapping everyone's bones. Hopper gets eaten by a Demogorgon. So this isn't the same Demogorgon, I guess, in the Hunger Games. Another separate Demogorgon that has now eaten Hopper. So Hopper's killing spree has now come to an end. Murray leads an army of Demobats to feast on Steve. Hey, that actually happened in the show. Nancy hides in the tunnels. Mind Flayer gets eaten by a Demogorgon? What? So it made sense that the Mind Flayer was scared of Demogorgon before? Like that made sense for him to fear a Demogorgon? Dr. Brenner hides in the tunnels. Alexei hides in the tunnels. Demogorgon also hides in the tunnels. Good thing he didn't get eaten by a Demogorgon. But speaking of getting eaten by a Demogorgon, Argyle gets eaten by a Demogorgon.
That is so not cool.
Dustin hides in the tunnels. And then Bob also hides in the tunnels. 9 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Will, Max, Jonathan, Barb, Robin, Hopper, Steve, Mind Flayer, and Argyle. Nancy and Murray tell stories about themselves to each other. 11 stays awake all night. 11, you're gonna do something anytime soon? Dustin is unable to convince Alexei to not kill him.
If you die, I die.
Deep shit. Vecna questions his sanity. He's like, wait a moment, I just got 4 more kills, but they didn't count. Dr. Brenner begs for Mike to kill him. He refuses, keeping Dr. Brenner alive. I don't know why Dr. Brenner wants to die. You know, so out of all people to go to, you know, to kill you, like, why are you going to Mike? Nancy travels to higher ground. Demogorgon diverts Bob's attention and runs away. 11, Vecna, Dr. Brenner, and Murray raid Mike's camp while he is hunting. Alexei attacks Susie, but she manages to escape. And 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance, Dustin. Dr. Brenner goes inside a sensory deprivation tank. Now, what are you doing? I think he's just kind of going a little insane. Murray convinces Alexei to snuggle with him. It's kind of wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. And plus, Murray's the only person who can understand Alexei. Vecna begs for Bob to kill him. He refuses, keeping Vecna alive. Demogorgon destroys Susie's supplies while she is asleep. And Mike attempts to climb a tree, but falls to his death. So he died before Vecna was able to get to him. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Nancy decides not to go to the feast. Murray decides not to go to the feast. Bob decides not to go to the feast. Dr. Brenner severely injures Vecna, but puts him out of his misery.
Welcome to the underground.
I bet Dr. Brenner's happy that he didn't get killed before. Susie takes the staff leaning against the cornucopia. Demogorgon, Alexei, and 11 start fighting, but Alexei runs away as Demogorgon kills 11. Props to Alexei for, you know, escaping that battle. He kind of knew, like, wait, this doesn't seem winnable. But 11, like, what are you doing? You've killed Demogorgon before. Dr. Brenner sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Okay, now he's playing safe. Now he doesn't want to die. Maybe he's just afraid of Vecna. Nancy sets an explosive off, killing Murray and Susie. Now Alexei's duo partner is dead, and so is Susie. I guess we'll never know if she was evil. She probably wasn't. Alexei attacks Demogorgon, but he manages to escape. Alexei's trying to finish the fight from earlier that he ran away from. Bob sees a grandfather clock. I don't know if this is possible if Vecna's dead. Unless if, hold on, maybe the reason that Vecna killed people, you know, in the Upside Down, that didn't count, you know, towards his kill amount. Maybe the reason to that is that there's 2 Vecnas. This is a plot twist now. I'm getting deep into the lore here. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Mike, Vecna, 11, Murray, and Susie. Nancy screams for help. Demogorgon fends Dr. Brenner, Bob, and Alexei away from his fire.
Should I stay or should I go?
So 5 contestants are left. Bob receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Nancy makes a wooden spear. Dr. Brenner receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Demogorgon collects fruit from a tree. And Alexei rides their bike around the arena. He's trying to get to the nearest gas station that's for some reason in the arena so he can buy some more cherry slushies. Demogorgon and Bob huddle for warmth. Bob, you trust the Demogorgon? Alexei repeatedly stabs Dr. Brenner to death with scythe. Dr. Brenner, you finally got your wish. Even if you didn't want it anymore, you still got it. And I guess Alexei wasn't, riding his bike to get a cherry slushie. He was riding his bike to, murder Dr. Brenner. Nancy thinks about home. Demogorgon begs for Alexei to kill him. He refuses, keeping Demogorgon alive. Demogorgon, why do you want to die? You're doing so well so far. You can actually win this. And Alexei, you kind of tried to kill Demogorgon before. You went after him twice. Bob receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. And Nancy thinks about home again. You were literally just thinking about home. 1 cannon shot we heard in the distance, and that's Dr. Brenner. Alexei tries to treat his infection. Did he get bitten by a Demogorgon maybe? Bob decapitates Nancy with a sword. Oh my god. And Demogorgon receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. I don't think you really need a hatchet. You kind of have your head. That's a pretty good weapon in itself. Bob finds a VHS tape. You watching the Goonies? Demogorgon makes a slingshot. Hey, that was Lucas's job. And Alexei questions his sanity. 1 cannon shot being heard in the distance, and that's Nancy. Bob and Alexei tell stories about themselves to each other. How is Alexei telling him stories? You don't understand the language, Bob. And Demogorgon attempts to climb a tree, but falls to his death.
I'm on fire.
Demogorgon got so far, though. Alexi is unable to convince Bob to not kill him. Alexi, no, why? But that means the winner is Bob from District 8, which is still a worthy competitor.
Have sex, excess.
Well, good job, Bob. You are a very nice character. I'm surprised you did some pretty brutal things in this Hunger Games, like decapitate Nancy. So here are all the placements. So Bob in first place with 2 kills, and then Vecna with 0 kills. You could technically say 4, but I think my theory is correct with there being 2 Vecnas. Then Hopper with the most kills, which was 5. Anyways, that was it for this Hunger Games Simulator video, Stranger Things Edition. Also, comment down below if you want to see a sequel to this, if you want to see a Stranger Things Edition 2, because I definitely do that. I love the show. But anyways, that's it for this video. Bob is your winner, and goodbye.